Hello and welcome to Game Development with Python Pygame. This is the fifth part of our series. All of the previous series are linked down below. And in this part, I'll be adding destructive obstacles like doors and windows, and also effects for them like twinning and destroy animation. So depending when we shoot it, we get the animation, you'll see, and let's get right into it. Alright, so for the destructible obstacles, what I decided to do is to create a simple instance of a destructible obstacle for now and work my way up from here. So what I did was I went to our classes and created basically a mirror class of this obstacle class here. Why a mirror class? Because it has all the same instances as the other classes, but it has only another group called game.destructible obstacles, which is basically the mirror of the which is basically the mirror of the self.walls group. It's exactly the same. So after I created basically another wall instance, what I did is I obviously went here and pasted exactly the same thing, but the name in our tile is different. I decided to call it permanent wall for now. I'll change it in the future. And it is exactly the same as wall for now. And in sprites, where our mobs and zombies are, when we collide with basically with the rectangle of the wall and the permanent wall, I added this basically instance. It's collide with walls exactly the same as with regular walls, but this time it uses game.destructible obstacles. So it's basically, again, it's exactly the same. And when it's all working, the bullet class is where it gets interesting, because when we go to the bullet class here, we see this new thing, hits D. I decided to call it like that for now. We do Pygame sprite collide, not sprite collide any, but sprite collide, self, and self.game destructible obstacles true. True is here because if the bullet collides with basically destructible obstacle like window or door, the window or door will destroy its hitbox will destroy, and the bullet itself will destroy as well. So that's why I wrote it here, and I'll show you what we currently have. And I removed the zombies from here so they won't like get in the way of me testing it. We collide in this. See, this is just like a window consisting of two tiles, like 1, 2. We collide, we can't do anything, but when we shoot, see, the bullet stopped. And now we can move, it's broken. So for now it's just like, basically it's working the way I want it to work. But there's a couple of problems. Firstly, as you can see, we don't see if we broke it or not, because basically the window remains the same. That's because our map is blitzed. Sorry. That's because our map is basically blitzed before the obstacles. Obstacles don't have anything to do with the map. Map is shown on the screen either way. So we can't just remove this walls or a kitchen table or something like that. We can't do this because it's already drawn. And one way to do this is to create a mix of a wall and something like health ammo box or saved off, like something like that, because when we spawn health ammo box we don't see it, because we only in the class we bleed the image to it. The same I'll do with this permanent walls. I'll create the class for it, which will take the image depending on the type, like door, window, like that, and it will have the hitbox of the wall before we shoot it and kill it. When we shoot it and kill it, it won't have basically the hitbox at all, because it will be killed. And this thing will be removed like you saw in the game here. And there's also another problem. It's when you basically, I shot only this tile, but I can walk through both tiles. Like these tiles are broken because I only shot one. That's actually easily fixable. We can just go here and basically do this, copy this out, paste this out, and for now it should fix the problem, I believe. it should work. Now let's test it. If I break this part, yeah, see, I can only walk here, and here is, I can't walk through this tile whatsoever unless I break it again. So now it works like basically window should work. Okay, now this is fixed, and we need to get back to our main problem. It's basically splitting the images, and also I want, when the window is broken, I obviously want to get the effect of like this participles appearing. So I need to do something like with the zombie. See, when I kill the zombie, this appears. So I want to do something like that with the window. And I think it's just gonna take a mix of the zombie class and a mix of the walls basically class to create all of this. And I'll check back when it's done. Alright, so checking back in when almost everything is done. So I'll show you what I've done, and then I'll comment it. As you can see, I could change it like that. We've got our window here. I shoot, it disappears. Same here, shoot disappears. With all of the doors is exactly the same. Even with this door here, and like all of the doors and windows you'll find on the map can be basically destroyed using guns, like this. So, how did I accomplish this? Well, as I already said, I want to make a mix of item and wall classes in Destructive Obstacles class. So I went ahead and added something similar to item images here. We got different types of windows and doors: window horizontal, window vertical, door horizontal, door vertical. We got the respective images for each of them, and I'll show you these images right now here. But keep in mind that these aren't the images you'll find in tiled program. If we scroll here, these are not the same images. That's because here the image has 64x64, basically like hitbox rectangle, and even though everything here is blank space, when you put it in Pygame, it still counts as the rectangle. So it still finds the rectangle 64x64. So I had to go ahead in Photoshop and chop all of these basically blank spaces to be like 64x20, I believe, for the window, and x28 for the door. So these are just edited images. If you don't want to do this yourself, obviously the link will be down below. And yeah, these are the images, and I load them here. In our main, when we load data, I do the same as with items here. I create a dictionary called self.destructive obstacles images, and I basically copy the dictionary out of settings, but with already loaded images as the values here. And as you can see, you got the Destructive Obstacles folder. It's also basically a new folder which I call Destructive Obstacles. Here I have it, as you can see here, in my images folder, so I can easily access the Destructive Obstacles when I want. And then we go to our Destructive Obstacles class. As you can see, I added a new group, Game All Sprites. It's because if you saw here, right now there's no doors drawn, only objects. There's no doors. I removed all of the doors and all of the windows because these are a separate sprite. They have a separate image, which we get from self.game.destructive obstacles images, depending on our type, and we get the rectangle of that image. So that's why chopping them was really important. And it's written Game All Sprites here because in our main, if we go to our draw section, we've got Game All Sprites.draw. Not like I can't find it exactly where it is. Oh, for sprite and self all sprites, we basically draw it here. So yeah, and as you already saw in our tiled, we've got these things, and this is where we specify the type of the window or door that we basically work on here. Give it here. We give Destructive Obstacles the type, and I remove width and height because we already are gonna have the image. We don't need width and height. So here, as you can see, I removed all the doors and all of the windows, and I specified whether it's door horizontal here. Hitboxes are separate because you already know, I already shown you why. Window vertical here, door horizontal here, the same door vertical, window horizontal, door vertical, window horizontal. So I specify each type of the window where should be located on our map. And then when we read it in our main here, we basically do the same as we did with the items. If tile object name in the list which contains window vertical, window horizontal, door horizontal, and door vertical, if basically the name of the object in tiled is one of these, we spawn the destructive obstacles. We give it self, like game parameter, we give it the type, it's tile object.name, it's gonna give it one of these types, and then object center x and object center y, because here we got self.rect center x equals x that we give it, so that's why it's the center. And here we get the images depending on our type, we get here from here, obviously. And in our bullets, I did not change a thing, I believe. Yeah, in our bullet everything remains the same. It still hits D. If we hit one of the destructive obstacles, we kill it and we kill the bullet. And as you can see, oops, wrong mode, this shouldn't have happened. And as you can see here, if we go here, we hit it, because we've already written the basically hit command for our windows and destructible obstacles. And now to reach the doors, I have to shoot them with a shotgun. And they are gone. Now I'll kill the zombie so he won't get in. And see, the zombie sees me, but he can't get to me, the door is blocking it. So that works. And also the hitboxes work well from both sides, because it's just basically, before we destroy it, it's just a wall with a bit thinner hitbox. And when we destroy it, there's nothing left, so we just can like easily walk around and shoot everybody. And that's basically the mechanics are done, and now all I need to do is to add some effects, like when the zombie dies, this effect appears to like, see? And when the window is broken, I want something like that to appear, and I actually have the image already in my effects. And if we go there to effects, this will be for the glass, and this will be for the broken door. I created them using Photoshop, using canny tiles, so if you want to download it, will be like all the links will be in the description below, obviously. And yeah, I'll be right back when I get effects done. So yeah, I was supposed to add effects, and I ended up adding a bit more effects than I previously thought I would add. So I guess let me show you what I added. Okay, so for the window, I added the breaking and the glass sound. The sound is a bit delayed, that's okay. We're gonna fix that later. See, the glasses can be broken, the sound is okay, and it all basically works. But for the door, it's where it gets interesting. See, I shoot it. The hit sound is here, and the door color changes a bit. And when I break it, the break sound is there, and the debris is also there. So see, that's basically how it works, and that's a bit more work than I previously thought I would do, but it still doesn't take much time, and it looks incredibly beautiful. So let's get into it better. Alright, so for our obstacle, I added hit track to it just so so our debug mode won't raise an error. I also added health, but only to the doors, as you saw already, and I added self-damaged for the Python, which I'm gonna explain a bit later. Also here you can see there's a copy, that's also because of Python. I'm gonna explain it all later. For now, let's just go to the hits. To our hits, I changed it to false here, because we're gonna kill our obstacle in our broken function here. So if our hit type is just a window, so it's like if it's a window, we just call the function hidBroken, in which we again check if our type is window, and then if it is, we bleed our game broken window image. And by the way, all of these images are loaded here. All our new effect sounds are added into the settings, so like broken glass, broken door, hit door, all of them are added in the settings. And by the way, you can download the sounds in the description below, and the links to their creators also will be there. And yeah, effect sounds are loaded here. Here in effects images, broken window and broken door images are loaded as well, so we use it here for now only for the window. The position is like that because when we bleed an image, it's gonna take a top left X, so it's like top left X, and we have our center X and center Y, and as our tile image is 64 by 64, the center will obviously be like in the middle of the tile, so that's why we decrease basically our position by half a tile. So basically the position, I'll show you, opening our debug mode. Our position is here for the sprite, but it's our center position. But when we bleed an image, this is the top left position, and the image will bleed like that. So we need to decrease by 32 and 32, so the top left image will be here, and then the image will be displayed as it should. I forgot to close it. Alright, so we bleed the image when the window is basically broken. Then we play the broken glass sound, and then we kill our window. So that's basically for the window, there is nothing more to the window. But for the door is where it gets really interesting. In our broken class, we check if our type is door, and if it is door, we check if our health equals more than 0. If it does, we just play the hit sound you heard already. I'll show you again it. Yeah, that's basically the hit sound. If our health equals more than 0, we just play the hit sound. And if it doesn't, we bleed the image with the same, basically the same principle as here with the window. We play the effect sound the same as here, and we kill our sprite the same. And we have our health here. It's 30 HP. The door will have 30 HP. And in our update section of a bullet, where we check for the hits, if we don't hit the windows, it means we hit the door. If we hit the door, we decrease our health by the weapon damage the player is currently carrying. We also do this function, I'll explain about it later, and we do the hit broken method. So that's basically the same here, but the health decreases, and then we check for the broken function if the health is more than 0 or less than 0, and then we do all of the things. And also, I've already shown you here, we've got the animation when we basically shoot the window. It's like it becomes a bit black. So that's basically the principle is the same when zombie becomes green when you shoot him. That's the same principle here. It's called Python. We just need a hit function where self.damage is equal to true, or here's by default is equal to false, but if we hit it, damage is equal to true, and self.damage alpha equals intertools chain damage alpha x1. If you're curious what it is, it's here. We get I for I in range 0 to 155, and the step is 25, so it gets the list of these eyes out of here, and then we just like for that amount while it iterates over those eyes, we make the door look a bit darker. If you're still curious how it works in depth, check out the Kids Can Code YouTube tutorial, link in the description below. And yeah, so basically the principle is again the same as our player and zombie. We have this hit, and you already saw we call this function only when we are hit by a bullet. Only then we kill it, and that's the bullet kill statement, so don't mind it. Only then we hit it. And then we, in our update, I had to add update because the PyTwinning will only work if basically the images are all constantly updated. Because if they aren't, then the image just gonna stay dark and it won't be back to its original size. And now, here as you can see a default twinning thing. If we are damaged, we try to fill the image with almost white color, so it like will half disappear, half be darker for a bit, so it's like almost white but not exactly white. We iterate over each eye we had here, and while we iterate we fill it with special flags. Again, if you want to know it, check out their tutorial where everything here is in depth. And if we have a stop iteration, we set saldo damage equal to false and it stops. But there's a small features that will break your code if you don't do it. See here, self.image equals self.game.destructible obstacles images copy. Why copy here? Well, if I remove it, I'm going to show you what happens. If I remove it, see? Check these two doors out. They both become dark and they don't become like normal again. And they both become dark, so the twinning works on both, and that's because when we edit this image, we should edit its copy, not the original value of the image that is in the dictionary. Because if the original value is edited, then basically all of the instances of a class will be with the same image. And over here in our update, we set our image again to the copy of these images. We do this because if in our zombies classes here, we constantly define in update our image when we rotate it. So like the image is constantly amplified, and if it won't be constantly amplified, the result won't be that good, because if I comment it out for now and I go to the door to check it out, you can see the door will remain like that because our image isn't constantly applied in our update. So that's why I do that. We apply our image constantly in our update when we stop the iteration, and we do it again when we are damaged again, basically. And yeah, I already explained what hit does. And basically that's it for now. That's how it works. So that's all I added, and I believe that this is like a really good code for the doors. It looks like incredibly beautiful and incredibly basically great. And as you can see, the sounds are played respectively. I already shown you. Sound played here. Sound played here if we just hit the door if our health equals more than 0. Sound played here if we break the door. So everything is just like optimized, looks great and feels great. And to show you how it all basically works in the end, I take all the weapons, and by the way, the shotgun is more powerful while killing the door because it has a lot of bullets. So see here, it's like that, and I can break the windows. I can take the rifle, and now I can go to this door, break it, kill the zombie, break those windows if I don't want them to be there. Also break these windows all the way here. These windows are broken. Take more bullets to break more windows. And by the way, we need to block this because right now, if I break the windows, they just come to me. That isn't good. The room should be locked because in the future it's gonna be a boss room. But see, you can basically destroy all of the windows that are here. You can destroy all of the doors while running away from the zombies. See these doors, we destroy them, we destroy these doors, and then we die because there are just too many zombies out there. And yeah, that's it. Right, so that's all there is to doing the destructible obstacles. I think the code we wrote today is great. It's really like it's a good code, and everything looks great and feels great. You can just like walk around. Now the game makes a bit sense. It feels a bit more optimized and thought about the details. So you can break all of it, break the windows, and there's stuff that breaks. And yeah, that's all there is to using the destructible obstacles. So that's all there is to this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content. This channel's videos are gonna be expanding like crazy soon, so make sure not to miss it. Also leave a comment down below suggesting an idea or asking some question. All the useful links are in the description below, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!